Okay guys, back out on the bank. Today we're at the River Severn. It's got to be one of my favourite venues at the minute. I think I've always said the River Thames has been my favourite venue of all time, just because I think it just got everything in there. But anyway, the River Severn is currently my favourite sort of venue that I fish, and it's just stunning. Let me spin you around and show you the view I've got. So this is the swim today. Let's just zoom out. There's quite a lot of weed in the water, which, if I'm honest, I wasn't expecting. Look at that. So guys, not a soul in sight. I've been, say, 3-4 pegs that way, 3-4 pegs that way. There's nobody here. It's unbelievable. It's such a lovely venue to fish, and the fishing is absolutely outstanding. Probably shouldn't tell people. Anyway, I've started off. I got here a little bit early. I'm going to fish. I want to try and fish into dark, although there's been a bit of thunder and rain, which I wasn't expecting. So what I've done is I've come down a little bit early so I can have a wander. I haven't been here since, well, I pike fished it early in the year before the close season, but I haven't fished it for the sort of chub and barbel. So I wanted to come down. Yeah, there's a fish on there. So I wanted to come down a little bit early. Dropped off. Little bleak, I think. Yeah, so I wanted to come down a little bit earlier, basically check it out, find a spot, and also I wanted to, for the species challenge, I wanted to get a dace, a bleak, and a stone loach. I'm not sure I'm going to get the stone loach. I'm sure I've caught them here before, but I've had a dace and I've had a bleak. So just like I said, a few more casts with the waggler. It's only early, and the barbel will, come on as it's sort of tea time onwards. But yeah, we're having fun on the float, and we'll find some spots shortly ready for the barbel. Okay guys, first species of the trip, a little bleak, one of the targets. Let's get him back. Second species of the trip, a dace. That's another target achieved. Okay guys, so we're just using a waggler, to be honest. I'm only fishing close in. Got a little Drennan Vizzy wag, 1.5 grams, couple of float stops and some stops either side. Hold it in place. Got a couple of stops by the hook, start of the hook link. Size 18 hook, just single maggot. Little chublet there with the orange fins. So I think I've already said it, but that's 3 species now. It's a biter chuck. Did get a couple of slightly better stamped dace then. Hopefully, as the feed goes in, it'll draw some bigger fish from upstream. But more than happy at the minute just to catch these fish. It's great fun. Fourth species of the trip, guys. Nice roach. Okay guys, biggest fish of the trip so far. Nice little chublet. Again, I know I've said it already, but the orange in the fins there, the difference between a chub and a dace. And obviously the lips, but that just gets more obvious as they get bigger. Lovely little fish that's getting back. That Canadian geese over there just thought it could land on the river. That swan's having absolutely none of it, straight out. Just getting some ground bait ready now. Going to get onto the, certainly one ledger rod out for the minute, and then start looking. I'm trying to find spots, to be honest. It is super weedy. But yeah, we've had plenty of bites on the float. It was pretty much a bite of chuck. They did seem to sort of spread out a bit. And the fish weren't really getting much bigger, so I decided to put the big rods out now, or like I said, one of them, and then get the other one ready. And I'm trying, I've put the float, I don't know if you can see it, but I put the float like right down here for a stone loach. We've had a minnow, and I've had a couple of little chublets as well. So while I'm knocking up this ground bait, we're thinking we'll hopefully get something on that. So what I've done is I've got some manila ground bait and some worm fish meal ground bait, and just putting them through the corum riddle. Okay guys, so now that ground bait has gone through the riddle, yeah, it's lovely and fluffy and just binds together nice and then just breaks apart great. So I've added some of the spicy sausage 4mm pellets, and I did leave my Sonia bait hookable pellets at home, but thankfully I brought these 10mm Halleys, so I've just drilled a couple for hook baits, and that's what we're fishing. So I'll probably put a few of these out with the catapult. I've had a good look down my left hand side, found some clear spots, so I'm going to get the one out now and put the other out in a bit. Fingers crossed we get that 4 foot twitch. So the rig I'm using for the barbel and chub is it's the camo bolt and run kit from Corum. I've got a Guru method feeder on, ground bait feeder, sorry. Obviously the kit comes with an anti-tangle sleeve. Couple of foot hook link. I don't really like using long hook links. That's about as long as I like to go. And then I got a size 8 wide gape hook, a bit of shrink tube just to hold the hair against it, and a 10mm drilled out halibut pellet. So get this out now, and hopefully we get some chub and barbel. It is a thing. Okay guys, I was debating a move. I put the, as you can see there, halibut pellet. I put I brought the float rod in, sorry, and I'll just get this fish back. I'll put the float rod away, and I was debating moving swims because of all the weeds so close in. And I couldn't see out there, and the wind's picked, probably here, the wind's picked up, and basically with the ripple on the surface, I couldn't see where the holes in the weed were. I went a couple of swims down to have a look, and it looked, again, I couldn't tell, but the river goes narrower, which suggests it's going to go deeper. So I was thinking about moving there, and I couldn't see any weed even sort of close in. The only reason why I didn't pick that swim in the first place is because I wouldn't have been able to do the float fishing, because there's too much foliage in front of you, and it would have been too much of a pain. But netting odd fish isn't too bad, you know, getting your feet wet for a big barbel, for instance. Yeah, waffling. But basically, I come back to this swim, I set up a feeder, and I just had a few casts to the other 2/3 of the way across, something like that, the river, and I felt the drop. I did it a couple of times, felt the drop. I cast into sort of where I know the weed is to just feel how that felt, and it just solid straight away. A couple more casts out there, felt okay. First cast, chucked it out, and then yeah, I was having bites. But when I've been here in the past, I've definitely had it where small fish are attacking the feeder, and possibly the pellet as well, and not and you know, when you're just striking into nothing. But I had some quite aggressive knocks, and it turned out to be that little chub. So yeah, let's get I don't know whether to move both rods out there now, but I have up to a 3 ounce feeder as well because of the current. But yeah, I think I'll stick with one in close for now and one back out there, but hopefully next cast is something a bit bigger. But that's the start. So I decided to move spots. I lost a couple of fish in the weed, bringing them back. They were only small chub, but I'm guessing I'm just going to lose the barbel too. So we've moved spots. I've come down 2 pegs, and I chucked the feeder out a couple of times. it seems it's definitely a lot clearer, but there was, and I guess there is going to be a little bit of weed about a third of the way out, but nothing like where we were, so hopefully we won't have any problems with it. That's a bite, guys. That's a bite, guys. That's more like it. Oh, don't tell me that's weeded. What? No, it's still on. Yep, we just fell over. Oh, it's the fish come off. Oh, for God's sake. Fish is still on, guys. Oh my God. I need this fish. Is it still on? Oh, I did feel it kick, but I think we've just got a lot of weed. Yeah, still on. Oh, right. There's some weed close in here, so. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Such good fun, these 1.5 test curve rods, guys. Honestly, heart stopping stuff like when you get a better fish on, but oof. It's got to be a barbel. Yeah. Oh, he wasn't happy with that. Get in that net. We got him. Oh. Okay, guys, so we just had that crack intake, and it was a lovely River Severn barbel. £5, cracking fish. And while I was sitting there with that, the other rod went. I thought it was a little chub. It's this stunning roach, £1, just weighed it. I thought it was a little biggest roach I've caught in a long time. That is a cracker. Let's get them both back, guys. So, second barbel of the trip. Weeded me up again, but we managed to get him out. Oh, you'd recognise this fish. Look at the state of that peck. 6.5 £, biggest one of the trip. Cracking fish. I'll call him Pecky. Not a massive bite, but certainly made up for it under the rod tip. Cracking scrap. Let's get it straight back. It's gone dark now, guys. I've sort of put my head torch on top of the phone so we can video this one. So my first ever river bream, 7 species of the trip, barbel being the 6th. Cracking fish, and you don't have scrap from the river. So finish off the trip with a double take, biggest one, £7. Didn't weigh the other one. Looks about 5.5 maybe, something like that. But great way to finish. All the rods are tangled, so that's it. Time to go. So that's the bigger of the two, guys. Not the great night shots, is it? Not the best video in, but cracking fish. I'll get them both back now. Back home now, guys. It was a late one, nearly 1 o'clock in the morning by the time I got home. It's a shame it's an hour's drive. I mean, ideally, the barbel didn't really even kick off till sort of 10 o'clock at night. About an hour and a half window. I landed 4, had that bream and the roach, and I think I lost at least 2 in that small window. So it was like, it was non-stop once it got to 10 o'clock. If I lived a bit closer, I'd definitely like to do it a bit more often. It was great fishing. So we finished on 7 species: bleak, dace, minnow, roach, chub, bream and barbel. So yeah, great session. 2 more to add to the species hunt, so I'm now on 27. Just had a quick look. There's about 8 sort of coarse / freshwater trout with brown and rainbow trout species, which would take me to 35. And then if I can try and get like 5 more species, that's 40. So I'm going to aim for 40 to 50 species by December, by the end of the year, which I think will be pretty good. But yeah, great session. Wasn't expecting the weed. I did speak to somebody on the way out, walking across the field. He was just arriving at like midnight, but yeah, I wondered who's this guy. But anyway, yeah, so speaking to him, he was saying there hasn't been really a run through of heavy water, so that it is particularly weedy this time of year. But nonetheless, great fishing, and yeah, look forward to getting back there again. Hope everyone else is catching, and there's a bit of a break in the weather now, which I think will improve the fishing as well as my mood. But anyway, yeah, tight lines, and thank you very much as always for watching. Cheers, guys. Bye now.